Did I just break my hand? Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to I Love You Colonel Sanders, the KFC dating simulator. So Colonel Sanders brought us home, tucked us in bed after fighting a spork monster. I don't even know what that was, but it's the second day, so we're already halfway through our semester at school. You awake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild vision you had. Were they memories or premonitions? You lie in bed and stare at the ceiling, thinking about the secret you discovered while tasting Colonel Sanders' cooking yesterday. You can't believe you really used blank. And then, there was a secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. Yeah, it's only been a day and all of a sudden he's like, I have feelings for you. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the spork monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might be, I think I might like Quank. Like him? Like? I know it sounds like moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. Like him. I knew it! We were setting her up with the robot. Alright, so my best friend's gonna be dating a robot soon. We got to talking after class, and he's actually totally a sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders was the most popular kid in his high school? No, but that does make complete sense. Yeah, but he was so popular that he voted prom king at the school and was also the convertible that he himself rode in at the front of the homecoming parade. I'm thinking maybe something got lost in a pressure cooker language translation there. Either way, yeah, that's true. He's a kitchen cook. How is he the car? What? Either way, maybe it'd be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in school, the most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? You're a thing now? Well, definitely. We definitely connected yesterday. Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into, I guess? Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? We shouldn't be talking about this. However, you don't tell her that you know a second ingredient too, which you discovered on your own. Your bestie's eyes light up. A secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that a secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure that she's alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering. This can't be good. He told me all about his passions for recipes, secret spices. The man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from a super duper rare dried flower petal, and that if I did do him a big favor, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. He was so nice, he even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later when I cooked with them, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I've ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Oh, did he give her weed? Whatever, anyhow, we both shared an interest in cooking, so we stayed in touch, you know, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices. Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, and besides, I only know that one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be much use to anyone. Please, 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 please! It would mean the world to me. No one has ever came to know it from you or from Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should you protect Colonel Sanders' secrets or share it with your bestie? No, we gotta keep it a secret. We're trying to get a date with Colonel Sanders. I think giving away a secret recipe would really piss him off, so no. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name. I don't know. How about... It was Eye of Newt? I know it sounds like some kind of witch's potion, but what can you do? Eye of Newt? Wow! Her eyes light up imagining such a thing, and you figure that you've satisfied her curiosity, so she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does the same thumb typing on her phone, and you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm what she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in. Cherry blossom petals fall from the air. He's riding a horse now. It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school. Stand back and admire his majestic glory. Run to him. Hey, I'm gonna run to him. He decided the best way to show Miriam how serious you and Colonel Sanders are would be to run to him. Surely he'll be sweep you up on the back of his stallion and you'll ride away together. That'll show her good. Oh, Colonel! My Colonel! However, your sudden movement surprised the horse and rears up, kicking you directly in the face. That's nice. The force of the blow completely knocks you out cold. In the darkness, you see a vision. Ooh, Jessica, I'm here to deliver a message. Not this guy. It's important that you remember this exactly as I say it. If you forget, the word could end, so you know it's serious. I have been trapped in the realm beyond, but a great prophecy relies on my return. Only you can save me. All you need to do is to repeat my name 3 times, and that name is... Before he can continue, you suddenly awake. Oh, jeez! You awake to find Colonel Sanders tending to you. He roused you back to life with a satchel of secret spices, or is it just his natural seasoned must? Compliment the crafts of his horse's shoe. No, we can't kiss him. That's no. Maybe he shouldn't be riding a horse to school, and maybe you shouldn't be running up to animals you don't know. It's hard to say who was in the wrong here. But the one thing's for sure, that Colonel Sanders is pretty dreamy. That horse has beautiful shoes. I can really feel how smooth and sturdy they were when they were pressed into my face. That's nice to hear. No one truly appreciates good craftsmanship anymore. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your 2 rivals, Ashley and Van, are doing something bad. By the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipe bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, summoning a demon bad? What? They're summoning a demon? You try to get a peek over Van's hulking shoulder, but he sees you coming. Well there, little one, I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? Tell him to stop acting immature, act like you're not interested in them, but really try to get a closer look. I want to look. You sit near the rivals, but leave your back turned to them. You even hear Van mutter something that sounds a bit like a magical spell. However, he noticed you eavesdropping. You try to cover up your tracks and improvise an excuse. It's time for class. And you're distracting the rest of us who want to learn. Now you upset them. Oh, and you're an emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules. I'm not sure you know a good meal if it ain't you. Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache. And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. You finally get a look at what they were hiding, and you instantly recognize it. Oh, it's the book from the one you found after your encounter with the spork monster. That's the same book I found last night at the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is family heirloom, and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't been studying the book, that you've got Pop pinned to the wall, and that they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. We're playing! Before you can dig any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Bleep bleep! Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts! You watch how you're talking to him. He didn't do anything. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such a language, not even from a stand mixer. No, your mother was a stand mixer! Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders! These crazed men are about to come to blows! I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely you must know that that's a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena at least, or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got a lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with that business plan. Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem to be abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing all cars around town and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you are ready to learn. Rub his furry dog belly, he loves it. Sprinkles stops in his tracks and sniffs the air around you. Something has him in a trance. It's a scent he left on from Colonel Sanders. Sprinkles jumps on you and licks your face. Down, boy, down. Offer hopping. What? The command shouted by Colonel Sanders has snapped Sprinkles out of his trance. I wonder what's up with that? Sorry, I got a little carried away. After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control over the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken. You want to pay attention to the lesson, truly you do. Which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed the name. You can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you. Well, Jessica, naturally this appears to you to be a sample platter. Which item do you want to sample? Glass of water, shimmering pepper? I'll take the water, because apparently I'm too thirsty for the Colonel. You grab the water of glass and gulp it down. It's cool and crisp, like the purest snow melted by the mountain spring. Hey, that is mine. It's from my favorite toilet. You owe me $6. And you've got excellent taste. Ew, from a toilet! You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention. We all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you someday. Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria light dim. And your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competition cook-off. The level of theatrics of these two is off the charts. Demand that they stop wasting everyone's time. Hey, you're on! I'll fight you! A bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in. If I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I set my lunch down on it, then so be it. I'm not the fool! You're the fool! Fool! Good one, Van. I like your competition, Jessica. I'll be watching your performance. Just as things are reaching a boiling point, Sprinkles steps in. Surely he's about to stop this madness. Now, students. Please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sporting court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least not until we turn on the timer. Timer ready. Just as a huge light blasts in your face, flashing words timer ready. That's what I'm talking about. I stand corrected. The hard way builds up solidity, a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's the original quote by me. In case anyone was wondering, I hope it's a message that lifts you to its victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now's my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. You had his chicken, and you made him mashed potatoes and gravy on day 1, and you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for some potatoes. Think fast, as timer's running down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. What temperature do you boil at? Always 100 seconds, Fahrenheit? I don't know, that's right, but how would you even got into school without knowing that? Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that entice offer motivate you. You're going to need to season the chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. How many? 7, right? 11? 7? That's wrong! Oh no! I've seen schnauzers with better sense than that, and the miniature kind no less. Now that you got some basic steps going, there's time to elevate your craft. With state of mind, you offer most flavors. Gratitude! That's right, you never take this opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day, you meditated on his advice, and draw energy from the past. Now would be a great time to harness energy. Where do you get it from? Small town born, Small town! That's right! This is your shot, and you're not going to miss it. You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. What's the sound of success? Sizzling. Oh, okay, apparently not. Don't make me get the spray bottle. Next question. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you, Jessica. Oh my, thank you. He's actually cheering you on, which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy does it take to original? I didn't get to pick! What were you thinking at? Get your mind back into the competition. You were stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk! I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focusing on the challenge? You're falling behind. Walking on the beach. What does it take to have with a craft of spectacular fried chicken and dedicated baked biscuits? You really struggled to keep up. At the next station over, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into a stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Ah, yikes! I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in the kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing a personal touch. You might not have any hands, but Jessica does, and a good chef needs to be in touching into the dough to know when it's properly mixed. There is an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious error was. You immediately shove your hand into the mixer and rescue the dough before it's overmixed. Jessica, no! Did I just break my hand? But you're not fast enough and your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. Oh my god, he's not gonna date me now! What you often find is the easy way you can turn out much, much more difficult. Everyone stop what you're doing. This battle is over. Can't be! I was so close to finishing my dish! Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Aw, that's too bad, and here I am with a completed dish, ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair competition due to on account of Jessica's injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops, and locks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared? Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to the dessert. That looks like a boob, but okay. Under the white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and telling story of excellence. I was going to ask Jessica to do the honors, but since you're injured, I'm afraid I'm pouring this creamery of the delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Inside, you'll find a delicate of fried cheese crate, on top of a sliced honeycomb. Ice cream 2 ways, tender knot and pearl of blueberry glee. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger into the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you. As he places the sauce over the cover finger of his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something in his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. Internalize the rage you fear. Put yourself between Colonel Sanders and Ashley. No, well, let's not show our jealousy. Your rage burns so intensely with your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch on fire and turn to Ashley, and they fall off your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Now I have a broken hand and no eyebrows. Great. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run for the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll just never be a master chef. Failure is part of life. Not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well, then think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you, enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome for sure. I was born that way. Jesus. But I've walked other paths and arrived on dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician? I was passionate about justice, but failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight. What? You were in a gunfight? And I lost my innocence when I picked up a firearm and put a bullet into my rival. He survived. For now, anyhow. Colonel Sanders is a murderer. I'm trying to date a murderer. That's, great. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon and tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together. Which is true now, but hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then, and that I was going to amount of something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changed his focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure. It's honest. It's something that humble a man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as the moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. Dude, can I just be alone with Colonel Sanders? Like, what the hell? It is I. I know I said I wouldn't be back, and after all the whole fight to the death thing, maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but I just wanted to say that I was wrong to attack you and I apologize. I know what it's like having to always look over your shoulder. Lots of problems, am I right? Thanks, Boriko. I'm glad that there's no hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark at night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode. I know you're strong, and the cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to the school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you see. I don't believe it. You were human once? Well, no. I was a golden retriever. Sure. But I was still a student. Until one day, some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. Magic spellbook. Precisely. I had to procure a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way, I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg you, respect it. You're a powerful chef, and shouldn't rely on dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocents from those who would cheat in them through sorcery and Gluile? I don't know how to say that, and Ashley has that book. If you need me, don't fear, I'll be there. Sounds like there were some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Jessica, together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. A personal infight? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Oh my god, we're in his house! Do you see that baby picture? Jesus. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you lived such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavor and texture. I'm not sure I nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perks up as he starts to wonder what dish she might be describing. It's about to pair with something spicy, something crispy. Both, perhaps? Now you got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret just for you? Let's reveal it to Colonel Sanders, trying to get on his good side. You decide that you're ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag and a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. Is he gonna steal my coleslaw? I just realized, so we gave him the gravy, the mashed potato and gravy. Is he gonna steal that recipe and then he's gonna steal my coleslaw too? Colonel Sanders, if you steal my food, I will kick you in the face. The shredded cabbage dish glistens with the light of Colonel Sanders' Lux hideaway. Magnificent. Together you chat on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. I like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You offer to him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back just a moment. You realize now that would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look at closer. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on the item to discover more about the Colonel. Oh, okay. Let's go with this first. Must be where he keeps a secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders that it dawns on you? As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? Really? Tap on the item you discover. Okay, the urn. Take a closer look at a large urn sitting nearby pedestal. There's a plaque of dust on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lies ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. He's like Squidward. You know that episode of Squidward where like, here lies Squidward? Oh my god. Photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt. Maybe this is where he discovered the secret herbs and spices? Tap item to discover... why is that door open? Adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor from the goatee and mustache combo he sports. You figured that must be Colonel Sanders himself. Maybe that's a drumstick. He seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of themselves? That's true. Probably the same type of person who would want their own face on the logo of a company they founded. Am I right? Huh? Okay. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold a fried chicken drumstick. Appears to be cheersing them. You look closely to see there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. Lock of silver hair woven through the teeth of a comb. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery color. It's actually made of spun silver. What? Scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in the lake? Summer of 69? Summer of 69! No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's blank! You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting at the corner of the table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't realistic. It's real! Taxidermy must be important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. Little note is clipped to the chicken's foot that reads the true state of bird of the great state of Kentucky. That sounds really creepy. I don't know. You gaze out the window across the vast Lickin mountain range beyond. Just there, a ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window, a crack, and the ghost of a student is swept out from the breeze. Okay, bye, I guess. You open the door of Colonel Sanders' closet to find a row of signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in a scent. They say that home is where the heart is. What they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say, it does look good on you. He complimented me. Oh crap, the jacket. You forgot to take it off. You decide now's your moment to make your big move. You tell him that you're cold. Would he accept my big move, though? That's the thing. Can I make a big move on him? Whoa. This isn't the kind of game. Not that we blame you for trying, but still. Game over? What? Really? Okay, let me try again. I can't believe this. Okay, fess up and tell him the truth, since I can't make a move on him. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel Sanders in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Jessica. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. So he didn't want me kissing him, but he's like, let's take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into slumber. Dream sequence! There they go again. You wake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Oh, we slept here. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today, a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about, blank. In some jurisdictions, blank isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how will they even know? What did they put in there, like weed? I don't understand. Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say we're a perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Flatter him. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you can find is to run out the door and go home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning awaits for no one. You get home to find something very surprisingly. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I was desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something bad happened to you. It's okay, it was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get to speed up my saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered with Clegg, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him, you better keep your dial turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was interested in spending one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure. I could get to know a little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends. Skydiving. Okay. But things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she say skydiving as if that's a typical first date to go out with a talking pressure cooker? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however, bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection, wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from the distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact, because, he's Pop. What's this swirly? That sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you one up right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is like a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dip too. Why did you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at the school. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Jessica, suggesting that I pick a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but from the injury yesterday Mixer's accident makes you wince in pain. Doesn't look like you can go on Cookie like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up, ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things closer to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Jessica, how is your hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back to fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you even concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was declared, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot worse to say it was bland. Excuse me, Jessica, I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Oh, we pissed him off. Maybe you could tell more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel? I'm always interested in discussing fine arts and food. See you inside, Jessica. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from the slight you feel by the interaction with Ashley, you take out a spell book and recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, is that a book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if they weren't really powerful? I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open the page covered with arcane warnings, cast only in case of extreme emergency, and this around the edges of the page. I could use a spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it probably would help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That's way too drastic. Couldn't you just do something else, like anything else, not rooted into dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine, this is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Why are we doing this? Why, all of a sudden we're doing dark magic, okay. You got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and you're a pretty good excuse to try it out. No, let's not do it. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you, it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up as he begins to breathe in quickly. He must be hungry. Reach out for some old homework and give him a snack. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait and see what happens. Let's give him a snack. You reach into your back pocket and grab a homework from the last semester that you forgot to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles the sheet of paper like a piece of fresh chicken ride-haw. I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much in this world satisfies like an ungraded book. My, Jessica, you were studying something with cinnamon? I have been sitting on a lecture series around the art of cake baking. How insightful. Actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Jessica, for reminding me of this indispensable bit of wisdom, you see. Before you can go any further, Miriam's love of drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by a word of sparks coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class! You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped onto a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's languages of mechanical noises. But no, you have to show off your cool kid friends Jeff and Jonah at J&J forever. Why just form a triangle in midair as we descend? Triangles are for the strongest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well, that doesn't make a great date. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can hold all hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Damn, are they breaking up? Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his pedal, and then a loud ding stops him from his tracks. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. It's a shoe. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker, considering that himself that his wheels, not feet, is not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see the entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from the lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenges exam, TM. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches you. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so bad that I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me like that in front of the class, in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is to a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test, hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sandra's stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe, sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and the ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else we meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle on the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make us very special soup. And I bet Professor Dog is going to love it. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed the lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend your time before exam. You decide to head to the arena early to practice a dish. There it is, the location of your final challenge, a test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. And the chance to beat the pants off of Van and supposed Man-Man, and his evil counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through the quick tests of recipes you have been working on. Jessica's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months making the dish comes to second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Oh no, drama! Jessica, what are you doing here? There's still time before the exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell of slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You're usually happy to share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decided that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but your decision gets hard to stick when The timer oven goes off. Ignore it like there was no sound at all. Just confess like he heard the sound. He's not deaf. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's very specific. That's an oddly specific distance, but you expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You know, it was pot pie just from the smell? Not just pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with all butter crusts. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? Oh no, I can smell that it was made with a heaping help of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow! It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. A final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkle lays down the ground rules. There are no rules. There is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up to the cook-off of the lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that will push over to the edge of victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are preparing widely elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has a giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, and he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts to feel a 10 out of 10, with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out to the really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders banners his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash. Miriam furiously injects ingredients into the itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend baster blaster! Van flexes his pectorals and chops open the sea urchin. Let's rock and roid! Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula. At least she admits she has a shallow personality. Even Clank gets on in it. 5 dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? Singular as is foretold. We mustn't let it happen, or appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out of the back door of the arena. As you frankly prepare your dish, you notice that Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some kind of dark magic to turn the tide? You got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's certainly almost evil magic? Nah, let's work for it. Who needs magic when you got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Jessica. Oh, he winked at me. Miriam noticed too. And I've always believed in you, Jessica, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but... Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's a secret ingredient! However, she doesn't know that you lied about the secret ingredient you made up. And where in the world did she get an eye of newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congealates into your very eyes. Great and blind! It is I, Steve, the spork monster! Steve? Wait, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We spork monsters are many. I think Borgo had a day off. But you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh, this is a different guy. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve, the spork monster, noticed that you got a grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Yeah, I guess you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup, back when in the old country, you can feel spork monster winding up to tell you a very long, involved story. You don't know exactly where they're coming from, but it seems like it's probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in monster school that I had fallen asleep during a scare tactics class. When I woke up, he does a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you about it later. Good luck! Having suffered a huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. Some extra power from deep down within yourself, give a drop of culinary. No, we'll deep down within ourselves. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange, and culinary energy flows through your body. Yo, we're going Super Saiyan! My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for... Yes, Jessica, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You're interrupting my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground, energy coursing through your body. You know, with this power, you can do anything except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. Great! Don't worry, dear Jessica. You have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decided that you have earned his support. I have been watching you today, and I must say I'm truly impressed. You have been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you managed to make is mac and cheese, and the time is almost up. You're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the task? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a dedicated white towel to unveil the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have a surprising effect that surpasses their individual efforts. And you're suggesting if we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union. Time's up, students. With the time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop? Clank? From off-screen, you hear a pure innocent giggle that can only come from one student. Hee, I'm flying! It sounds like it's coming from the broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging out on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now! Let me guess, did Van do something with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs, may I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks, I must say, it's not the worst prank of UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second, pranks. Clank, where did that pressure cook roll off to? You wait to hear a signature word beep, another, anatomophobia? Is that how you say that? But there is none. Somehow he must have gone unplug, I guess. Well, we'll have to figure it out later. Leaves you 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days. Very long. But after 3 days of hard work, time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish. I made tender udon noodles in a savory soup. That looks really good, but really tiny. My word, it's so delicious that a teeny tiny Narutomaki I spy floating of its itsy bitsy bowl. Yes, chef. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Why is this so stupid? Yes, Sprinkles, and some green tea made from baby leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkle carefully steps around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue tip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone like the taste? Oh, come on. I'm not the only those dogs who doesn't floss. I have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it for myself. In a flash, the entire meal is being devoured. Not that it looks that much. It was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+ for rarely I taste a dish as much as I love poured into yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives a huge hug. Thank you, Jessica, for helping and believing in myself. Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axe hewn urchin shell topped with caviar. That's very beautiful looking. Did you skewer the type of urchin with the spines from the second different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is a kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close to account of all the spikes. He begins to paw it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Please be gentle with my cuisine! Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get the taste of the needles. He reels back and his tongue is poked and prodded. Youch, my tongue! The professor appears to have an allergic reaction to the sting. Can't eat this! It keeps poking my tongue! Disqualified! A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified for glamour! Don't discount my sympathy. This isn't the last you've heard of me! Before forcing us to endure his swallowed tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously lapped a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley. It's time to step up. Now, describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. It's pretty. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be displayed at one piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Got toast in your eye or something, Jessica? I told you it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it and why I did extremely good on cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I would go to College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you're absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage takes over Ashley as she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high cuisine if it cooked you! And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to fake a nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me either! If this class can get much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together. 2 chefs. What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. Oh, that looks very nice. I'm hungry now. Oh my god. He examines it closely, sipping and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, this gives me this thing. And completely blow me away. In my 49 years of dog life, I have never tasted anything so delicious, perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. What are we, Oprah? Everyone gathers around the partakes the mac and cheese bowl, and they all seem to transcend into the reality of another dimension. You win! Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even Van Van and Ashley are drawn back into the magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but oh, come on. How could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is completed and everyone graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog at the house! Oh, woo! Oh god, I'm cringing. You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van Van and Ashley tell everyone that they're committed to themselves. Oh my god, look at Van Van's muscles, Jesus! Themselves to righting wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at the graduation. It's clearly written on the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. I was tricking all of you to finally notice me. Oh, how amusing. This poor guy, though. I don't even know his name. And now that everyone is together, it's a spork monster. He's totally mellowed out. Everyone, the spork monster is no more. From here on out, I prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster. Students try to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up in taking Party Monster. Strict student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found love in her cooking, and you know she's going to do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor and the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could have commanded such an entrance? It's Pop. Arrived late to the dance, but apparently for a good reason. Walking up to the carpet, they see a perch atop a dirty chef hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma. Since you had to mail directly to your father, we figured that at least we could do for the school dean. Oh, now I get it. So he's the son of the school's dean? And now we get a new wing of the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such. He's okay. Never mind, not the dean, I guess it's son of a chancellor? The music of the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparks and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank. I'm not the one on this earth. I'm actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew that this whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I had just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear that she has managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand. Kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrived. Finally, my bae! Oh, he's just wearing a shirt. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he has come to prepare to defeat the entire class. However, he's not enough just to give them a bucket of chicken. This time it's a full meal. Wow! Full meal! I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. The end? And no, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Colonel Sanders? Yes, Jessica? I couldn't help but wonder. Was our final exam team up purely an act of strategy, carried out by two cunning chefs, or was it something more? I'm afraid I can't answer that question directly. Instead, I'd like to ask you a question of my own. May I have this do-si-do? Do-si-do? Colonel Sanders extends his hand to you and you feel a surge of energy jump off and tips off your finger. His hand, the hand of Master Chef, so delicately to the craft of the fine cookery, so tender yet refined, so milky smooth fingers, like finely battered drumsticks, turned into flour, soaked in buttermilk and dusted in exotic spices. But they do not reach for tongs, a knife, or a spork. Tonight they reach for you. And though our feet may tire of dancing, I believe that this is just the beginning of our steps together. Colonel Sanders, will you not only join me to the dance floor, but in the kitchen as my co-chef and partner in both business and in life? He's asking me out! Gas, could it be? Is he really saying? Me and you together? Ever since I met you, my dream has changed. Not enough to simply open the world's greatest food chain of fried chicken restaurants. No, even then, my life would be incomplete without you by my side. So what do you say, partner? I say, I love you, Colonel Sanders! For real end? Wow, that was a life-changing 3 days. Overwhelmed by everything that just happened between you and Colonel Sanders, you step aside for some air. The quad is dark and quiet, too quiet. You start to smell something salty, potatoey, gravy. And then Spork Monster appears. Hi, Jessica. You had some pretty sweet dance moves back there. Why, thank you. You weren't too shabby yourself. The moonwalk you did was pretty cool. Oh, you noticed? I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, I had something to ask you. You see, life as a potato-like creature is difficult, and I had no place to call home other than people's nightmares. Oh, I had no idea. This poor thing. I was wondering if I might be able to go home with you permanently. I'll run out and get the papers in the morning and everything you do and say. I guess we're adopting him, sure. My hero, I'll forever be in your debt. The end. Seriously though, it really is this time. Really? That's it? Are we done? I finished KFC's dating sim! Alright, well, that was very interesting. I actually don't know what to think about this. It was cute, but not the best visual novel that I've ever played. I played a lot of dating sims over the years. This was not the best one, I gotta say. It was stupid, because there was a lot of dumb things happening, but I don't know, the story of it wasn't that great. Is that bad to say? I like the artwork though, I like the style of it, I like how silly it was, but it didn't intrigue me like a lot of other silly visual novels that I've played. But that's my playthrough. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button for more games that are not dating simulators, because I'm going back to retiring and not doing that. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.